Good day to you. I'm Bernie Miklasz, and welcome to the Bernie Show presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Well, we're basically into the Memorial Day weekend, and this is a very small gesture, but I'm wearing my Navy cap just as a symbolic way of expressing appreciation to all the brave men and women who sacrificed their lives for America, for all of us, for generations of us. So anyway, I wanted to just remind us all, because sometimes I need reminding of what the weekend's really all about. So thank you. I wanted to get that out of the way, and I was struggling to express myself. I could go deeper into that, but you get my point. All right, I got an interesting take, I think, talking about the Cardinals this morning or this afternoon, whenever you read this or watch this. Thursday afternoon, when doing a Cardinal Territory show on YouTube, which you should watch, by the way, with the fantastic athletic beat writer Katie Wu, and I join her a couple times a week on the show, and I'm having a ball doing it. We were talking about the overall state of the Cardinals and how the young players are evolving. And a question came to me kind of late in the video, maybe halfway through. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Can't remember anything these days. I put the question out there. Have these Cardinals players learned how to win? And if the answer is no, not yet, then we can ask, well, are they in the process of learning how to win? Do we see signs that they are learning how to win? And how long will it take? Are they getting closer? Now, to state the obvious, we're not, none of us should base this opinion on a bad game or a losing series. I mean, even the great teams go through days where they look like, some AAA team, or they go through some ruts. It's just, the point is to take a look at the bigger picture, not to do what I did the other day, admittedly so, overreacted to the Cardinals' loss to the Tigers on Wednesday. I told Katie, I said, maybe I can delete that thing. That wasn't one of my better pieces of work. At least I can admit it, right? I know when I stink. And a lot of you will tell me when I stink, right? So there's no science with this. There's no analytics or metrics. Talent is an obvious factor. The performance of the front office and the manager and the coaches are part of the formula. And just because an evolving team, this is important to remember too, just because an evolving team puts together a hot streak, it doesn't mean they've developed a winning, supremely confident state of mind and that they're going to be able to take care of business. It doesn't mean that they've, quote, learned how to win. You don't do that by going 16-6 in the last 22 games as the Cardinals have done. Oh, it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, that doesn't mean they've learned how to win yet. That's just a pretty small piece of the schedule. Although I have loved watching this team grow and get better. But for this question, take last season, for example. The 2024 Cardinals got off to a terrible start. They rallied to win 33 of their next 51 games in a stretch that began May 12th in Milwaukee on Mother's Day. And the 2024 Cardinals crested at 6 games over 500 on July 8th. They had a 48-42 record at that time. At that point, according to Fangraphs, the Cardinals had a 55.6% chance of making the playoffs. They weren't going to win the division, but they were a live playoff contender. But hold the learning how to win narrative in retrospect about that 2024 team. Their 33-18 run, which was brilliant, it was followed by 10 losses in the next 16 games. And by July 29th, the Cardinals were down to 2 games over 500 at 54-52, and their postseason probability had dropped to 23%. And with the other contenders heating up, the Cardinals couldn't keep up. Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, tried to give his team a boost by acquiring starting pitcher Eric Fedde and outfielder Tommy Pham at the trade deadline, but there was no impact. In fact, instead of getting better, the Cardinals got worse. Any chance of them making the postseason was killed when the Cardinals opened August by losing 12 of their first 17 games. So just like that, after cresting to 6 games above 500 in, what day did I say? July 8th. Just like that, suddenly the Cardinals were back to below 500 with the 61-64 record on August the 20th. And sure, the Cardinals finished with a winning record, 83-79, and that's fine. And it's certainly fine after that disastrous 2023 season, but let's keep this real. With a shot at making the playoffs in 2024, the Cardinals put themselves in position to do that, and then they fell apart. See, after peaking at 48-42, they went 13-22 in their last 35 games. I'm sorry I hesitated. I was looking at my notes and I typed in the wrong thing, but I corrected myself. See that? I still have some brains left. Anyway, after peaking at 48-42, they went 13-22 in their next 35 games, and it was too late to put the broken pieces back together again and get back into contention. The opportunity was gone. The chance was gone. The dream was over. So while I can't emphasize enough, I very much appreciate the 2025 Cardinals for rallying after they started out 10-15 this season. They have played winning baseball. They have played entertaining baseball. They play with style. They play the stuff that purists like, great defense. They pitch solidly. They take great at bats. Once they reorganize the bullpens, they know how to put games away. Not going to happen every time, but they look like a team that's learning some stuff about how you win. But 2024 is a lesson. We were sort of having those thoughts last year when they caught fire, right? See, there's no way of knowing whether the 2025 Cardinals can do what the 24 Cardinals couldn't do, which is the Cardinals last year got in a position, and that's all you can do to make the playoffs. And then, boom, it all imploded. So we don't know which way the 2025 Cardinals will go. Will they get to the point a little later in the season where you still look and you say, you know what, they're in this thing. They can do this. Or when that day is there, when we say that, are they going to be able to finish it off the way you want to see them finish it off? Or are they going to pretty much unravel for the second year in a row? I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I'm not going to assume anything. See, as I like to kind of say a lot, they're going to tell us just by their performance over the long stretch of games. 112 games? I think it is. So there's another mental hurdle to clear, and I really want to get into this because this is interesting to me. I was fired up by researching some stuff this morning and coming up with this, and I'm going to tell you about that after I take care of some valuable business here on SportsHubSTL.com by letting you know what's going on over at DraftKings and their daily Pick Six challenge. The Major League regular season, we've reached Memorial Day weekend, so I think we got a better handle on pitchers and hitters in baseball. Or if you go into other sports, same thing. By now, like in the NBA playoffs, you kind of have an idea what's up, right? You can make an informed decision on what to do at DraftKings Pick Six. DraftKings covers all sports, so go follow the one that interests you the most, the one that perhaps you feel you know better than the others. But if you think, I'm just using baseball as an example, if you think you know Major League Ball, then put your knowledge to use. Go win some money, man. Cash prizes. In DraftKings Pick Six, you just focus on the player stats. You select anywhere from 2 to 6 players and choose whether that individual player or pitcher will go higher or lower on a specific stat set for his next game by DraftKings. Yep, it's that simple, and it's a lot of fun, and it's easy to get started. You just you got all your options to sort through, and then you select your players and take your shot at winning money. Pick Six is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and others. You'll like tracking your players during the game just to see how they're doing. That's entertaining, but the best entertainment is winning, and you can do that at DraftKings. It's easy to get started, as I mentioned. Download the DraftKings app, open an account, choose a sport, pick your players, and go. You're all set to go. New players at DraftKings get $50 in Pick Six credits instantly with just a $5 entry. So download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use the code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. New customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, let's return to my thoughtful question of the day. Have the Cardinals learned how to win? Are they getting to the point where we can say they've learned how to win? I think it's an intriguing season because they've exceeded expectations to this point. And these kind of teams are always really interesting to me because they're not expected to do much. And they start out poorly, and then they sort of get everything together, and they look really, really, really good. But it can go either way after that because there's not a proven track record in place. You know what I'm saying? And the 2025 Cardinals, this is a part I wanted to get to give us some perspective, maybe some context. The 2025 Cardinals have a lot of losses. I mean, a lot of losses to erase from their memories. And it's not just 2024 down the stretch. Let me explain. In 2023, the Cardinals, of course, lost 91 games, got kicked around all season. And listen, I knew this already because I made a kind of a big deal about it as this 2023 season went on. So let's review this really quickly. Believe it or not, and it's true, the 2023 Cardinals had a winning record on only one day of the entire season. And that happened on the third day of the season. The first two games of the opening series, the Cardinals and Blue Jays split. So they go into the third game. They've each won a game. And the Cardinals beat the Blue Jays in the third game of the first series. And they're 2-1. At that point, we're like, okay, series win. All right. They never had another day all season with a winning record. In fact, they only had two other days where they were at 500, and that was April 1st and April 3rd. So starting on April the 4th, I'm laughing because it's so preposterous. Starting on April 4th, the Cardinals had a losing record over the final 159 games of the season. It's remarkable because that's Colorado Rockies or Chicago White Sox stuff, and the Cardinals were kind of at that level. 159 games in a row, you're under 500. You know, when you started work that day. And here's the thing. The only reason why it's relevant, there are 9 position players from that 2023 Cardinals teams, and they're still here. Nolan Arenado, Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, Wilson Contreras, Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, and Ivan Herrera. Wynn and Herrera were just making their first appearances in the big league, so they weren't there all season. And same with Luken Baker. If he would make it back from AAA Memphis, and he was had a small role in 2023, but if he makes it back, that would give the Cardinals 10 position players who were members of that 2023 team. Michael Ciani played like 3 games or so for the 2023 Cardinals, so we could throw him on that list too if he makes it back to St. Louis. He's down at AAA. On the pitching side, the Cardinals right now have 8 guys who pitched for the 2023 team. Miles Michaelis, Steven Matz, Andre Palante, Matthew Liberatore, Ryan Helsley, Jojo Romero, John King, and Kyle Leahy. So that's a total of 18 pitchers and position players that were part of the 91-loss season in 2023. And like I mentioned, that number would increase if either Baker or perhaps both he and Ciani make it back to St. Louis during the long course of the season. So here's the best way to kind of frame where I'm going with this. It's like in a number. Going into this weekend series against Arizona, the Cardinals have played 374 regular season games since the start of 2023. So over those 374 regular season games, the Cardinals as a team, whoever was on the team, have gone to the ballpark that day to get ready for the next game. And as they were getting ready for the next game, they had on that day a losing record on the season. They had the 2020, over the last 374 games, the Cardinals reported to work with a losing record on 69% of those work days. I hope I explained that well enough. It isn't about individual games or days. It isn't about, oh, they had a winning streak. No, this is about baseball players who perform for the Cardinals waking up in the morning and looking at the standings that day and seeing a losing record as they make their way to the ballpark. That's happened on 69% of the days. That's amazing to me since the start of the 2023 season. As I mentioned, the 2023 Cardinals were never above 500 for the final 159 that year. The 2024 Cardinals had a winning record to begin the new day. Like, in other words, when they woke up to go to the ballpark, got ready, the team had a winning record on only 72 of those days over the course of 162 games. This season, the Cardinals have gone to bed. See, I'm sticking with the go to bed, wake up theme. This season, the Cardinals have gone to bed after playing a game and they've woken up the next day with a winning record on only 18 of the 50 days. So even though they're playing good, took them a lot of losing to start before they could start playing good. See, learning how to win isn't easy. It really isn't. And it's a tough grind. And I'm going to get to that. But first, I want to spend a little time talking to my fellow brothers about BlueChew. Gentlemen, especially to those of you around my age, and I am 66 and proud of it. I'm glad I've lasted this long, and I'm still working hard for a living. Please listen to what I have to say to you. BlueChew can help you have a more pleasurable and fulfilling life with your significant other. So why miss out on that? I have no hesitation in making sure you know about the benefits of BlueChew. Why? Because this is a really common issue. It's a frustrating issue. It applies to a significant percentage of men, including me. So why shy away from it? Why feel uncomfortable? There's no reason to feel uncomfortable. Take care of your business. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced intimacy. Think of BlueChew as your leadoff hitter when it's time to turn your attention away from sports or whatever and focus on your partner. You're going to get your first month of BlueChew free. You're just a few clicks away from that, and it's really easy to do. You just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within a matter of days. BlueChew tablets are made in the USA. They're shipped directly to your door. It's all done online. No visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You just order online and you're good to go. Trust Uncle Bernie when I tell you this. There's nothing more attractive to your partner than confidence, and BlueChew can help give you that confidence. We've got a special deal for our listeners to try your first month at BlueChew free when you use the promo code Bernie. Use that promo code Bernie. Just pay $5 shipping, and that first month is free. That's promo code Bernie. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right, let's wrap this thing up because I want to point out a couple other things. To be thorough, the Cardinals still have players left from the 2022 team that won 93 games in the NL Central Division title. That list of players or pitchers on that 22 team consists of the ones that are still here. Consists of Arenado, Donovan, Nootbaar, Burleson, Gorman, Herrera, Miklasz, Matz, Helsley, Palante, Romero, and Liberatore. So in various degrees of participation and playing time, each of those guys at least had a chance to experience time in a winning environment and sharing the field, sharing the clubhouse space with multiple legends, including Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright, and the 2022 National League MVP, Paul Goldschmidt. And of course, Arenado was a really big part of that team. He finished third in the 2022 MVP voting. So there were a lot of winners, proven winners, and a lot of guys who were winding down in great careers, and they were there. It was a great influence on young players who learned a lot just from watching them go about their business. So the younger guys who are still here now, they saw what winning looks like. They felt what winning looks like. But others, as we speak, are still very much learning all about that. The 2025 Cardinals work hard, compete hard. They have tremendous energy. They have a wonderful attitude. Some of these dudes like Donovan and Contreras have turned into team leaders. Mason Wynn is headed that way. The internal dynamics of this team are absolutely positive. We've seen growth. We've seen players that collectively have shown they can handle adversity and get up after being knocked down. They don't lose their spirit or determination when losing hits them. We have seen young dudes like Libator, Victor Scott II, Ivan Herrera seize the opportunities given to them and responded like future stars. We've seen Pedro Pages, the catcher who's in his second year. We've seen him emerge as a guy who's a great leader for this pitching staff. There is no way to adequately measure whether a team has, quote, learned how to win. We don't know it, but we can see it. And the only way for the 2025 Cardinals to prove they've learned how to win is to keep winning and winning and winning and winning. And when you have to win, when the pressure's on, win again. I'm really intrigued, really intrigued by the possibilities between now and the end of the season. Hey, thanks to all of you for watching, and thanks to DraftKings for presenting the Bernie Show here on SportsHubSTL.com. You can find my columns, videos, podcast version of the videos at SportsHubSTL.com. And I hope you have a splendid and safe weekend. And as I mentioned at the top, please remember the courageous and honorable men and women who gave up their lives in defense and in service of our nation. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching The Bernie Show.